Sellers want April's prices and buyers want October's deals. The real estate market here in Oshawa and across Durham Region has been slow moving and underwhelming to say the least. But we're only halfway through 2025, and honestly, the most interesting part of the year might still be ahead. In this video, I break down what happened in June, we'll take a step back to look at how the first 6 months of the year unfolded, and talk about what that could mean for the rest of 2025. We'll look at the trends in pricing, inventory, and buyer and seller behavior, and I'll share what I'm actually seeing on the ground with my clients right now. My name is Jessie McClellan. I'm a realtor here in Oshawa, Ontario, and if you want to follow everything happening in our real estate market, then subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if you enjoy this video. And if you'd like to get your questions answered about buying or selling a home here, or about our market in general, you can use the link in the description to book a call directly with me. Let's start with what the numbers looked like for June. For the first time this year, new listings actually dropped month over month, which is completely normal for this time of year. We had 2,282 new listings, a 7.2% decrease from May. Despite that drop, active listings still increased slightly, ending the month with just over 2,900 homes on the market, a 4.5% increase. Sales also dipped for the first time this year, down from 850 in May to 817 in June. Again, that's a seasonal trend we typically see early in the summer. But what's unusual is that 850 sales was our peak. For what's supposed to be the busiest time of year, that's a pretty low ceiling. If that does turn out to be the highest sales we see during a single month this year. Months of inventory climbed again to 3.6, which is the highest level we've seen during the month of June in at least 15 years. To put it in context, we calculate that number by dividing the number of active listings by the number of sales in a month. So while 3.6 months of inventory doesn't seem like a lot, and technically we're just entering into balanced market territory, Durham Region has spent the better part of the last 15-20 years under 3 months. So this is a significant shift. But when it comes to gauging the market and getting a feel for what's actually happening, I don't like to solely rely on only one data point. The sales to new listing ratio ticked up slightly to 35.8%, and when you look at this number alongside months of inventory, it paints a clearer picture. Months of inventory is on the right and sales to new listing ratio is on the left. While the months of inventory shows where we are now, and it says we're just getting into a balanced market, the sales to new listing ratio can be a great indicator of where the market is heading. If you see the number consistently low month after month, the market is going to build inventory and quickly. And nearly all year, our sales to new listing ratio was in buyer's market territory, showing that inventory is growing faster than homes are selling. If we stay at this pace, our months of inventory will continue to push higher, which could encourage prices to come down gradually over time. The average time it takes to sell a home also crept up from 18 days in May to 21 days in June. That's another seasonal trend, but this spring we never really saw the typical drop. The lowest we hit was just 17 days back in March, and it's been climbing ever since. The sale to list price ratio is still sitting at 100%, which shows that most homes are being priced at or very close to where sellers actually want to sell them. For some homes, especially homes in the entry-level category, you still see homes priced artificially low with the hopes of getting multiple offers. But that strategy is slowly being used less and less, and we'll talk more about that later in the video. That leaves us with the price. The average price across Durham Region in June was $891,662, a 1.5% drop from the month before. More importantly, that number is also lower than where we started the year, which was $896,000 in January. To give you some context and to show you why the last half of the year may turn out to be the most eventful, let's zoom out. In 2023, we started the year at $886,000 and hit $999,000 by June. In 2023, we started at $894,000 and hit $956,000 by June. This year, we started at $896,000, and in June, we're already down to $891,000. So not only did we fail to get a real spring market price bump this year, we've also undone what little gains we made. That's why I think the second half of the year could be a lot more interesting than the first. Throughout 2023 and 2024, the first half of both years had very low inventory rates, and prices climbed. By the second half of the year, inventory levels were up and prices came back down, negating most of the gains made during the spring market. This year, we stayed at a higher inventory level throughout the first 6 months. If we follow the same trajectory as the last 2 years and gain more inventory over the summer, we could see prices dip more by the end of the year. Leave me a comment below with your guess on how the last 6 months of the year plays out. If you plan on being active in the market or like following along, the sales to new listing ratio and months of inventory are a good indicator of where we are and where we're likely going. Sometimes the numbers spike up or down for various reasons, but we're really looking for a consistent trend. So if we have a slow August and it spikes to 50%, don't put too much weight behind that unless we see the trend change consecutively month over month. The best way to approach the real estate market if you're truly serious about getting into the market or selling your home is to factor in all of the information that's relevant to your home or situation. If you're looking for a narrative or looking for something to support what you want to hear, it just makes the process more difficult for yourself. Stay informed on what's actually happening and not what you wish was happening. Across Durham Region, the number of homes selling above their list price has been steadily declining since February. In June, only 31% of homes sold over asking, and most of those were only slightly above the list price. This is where I think there's still a bit of a misconception that's impacting how some buyers are approaching the market. I want to be really clear here. I'm not saying buyers should be out there throwing offers in on any home or paying more than something is worth. I completely understand being cautious, especially in a market like this where things are uncertain and everyone's trying to make a smart move. But lately I've seen a trend where buyers are automatically eliminating homes from their search just because they're listed low and holding offers, or because they already have an offer or two on the table. And I think in some cases that hesitation could be causing them to miss out on great opportunities. I've shown homes recently that ended up with 5, 6, even 10 offers. And guess what? Some of those sellers either accepted a really low offer or they declined to work with any of them at all. These bidding wars aren't what they used to be. Most of the offers are low and everyone's hoping to get a deal. So if a property comes up that really checks your boxes and it feels like the right fit, I'd encourage you not to dismiss it too quickly just because it's holding offers or already has some interest. You don't need to jump into a competition blindly, but be strategic. Go see the property, have your agent reach out to the listing agent to get a read on what's actually happening, and be ready with a plan. I've seen plenty of offer nights come and go with 0 offers, and in those cases, you might be able to swoop in right after and get a great deal, but only if you're paying attention. If you avoid those homes completely, you won't even get the chance. It doesn't mean you have to overpay, it just means staying open to all of your options because that's how you put yourself in the best position to get the right home at the best possible price. If you're thinking about selling your home in the near future, I just want to say there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Every home, every timeline, and every personal situation is different, and the plan that you make should be tailored to you and your home. That said, there are a few key things that consistently matter: presentation, attracting the right buyers, and pricing appropriately. I would caution sellers who are considering doing upgrades just for the sake of selling. Before you start spending money, talk to your agent, get a professional opinion on what's actually going to help you sell and what might just be an unnecessary cost. If you're going to spend money, you want to make sure that every dollar is working for you, especially in this market. Another important consideration, especially if you're considering buying another property, is having a clear strategy on whether you should buy or sell first. This is something that really needs to be discussed with your agent because the wrong order can add unnecessary stress or even put your purchase at risk. In most cases, selling first is a safer move right now. It gives you clarity, you'll know exactly what your home sold for, which means you'll know what budget you're working with, and with the number of listings increasing each week, you'll likely have no shortage of options when it comes to buy. Now, of course, if you're looking for a rare, super specific unicorn property, the kind of home that only comes up a couple times a year, then your approach will need to be different. But for most sellers, selling first offers more control and less risk. Unfortunately, there are still people out there making decisions based on what they think their home will sell for, and as the market shifts even slightly, it could put their financing and their entire deal in jeopardy. That's why it is so important to work with someone you trust, someone who knows both the area you're selling in and the area you're buying in. Lean on their experience, have a clear plan A and plan B when you do go to list your home, and make sure that your expectations are based on today's data, not outdated comparables. If you'd like to talk with me about our market or buying and selling a home here, either in Durham Region or one of the surrounding areas, use the link in the description to book a call directly with me at a time that works best for you. I'd also love to know your thoughts on what you think the market will do in the next 6 months, so please leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.